Tanisha.
Hello, Miss Jenny.
Hello, dear.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You good, you think? Okay, let me get this tidbit sheet out so I can get you guys going. Far. Did you get the message that said that the theory was going to be at?
Yeah, at 1 o'clock.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that you got it. That way,
Yeah.
no one can say it. I didn't get the message.
I did.
Okay.
But anyway, I asked you last
All
week
right.
if it will be back to normal, so I knew it will be 1 o'clock.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Then if they were listening, they heard it too.
Your internet really bad today.
So how was your Thanksgiving? My internet's like really bad. Venetia?
Yes.
Hi. I'm going to wait until they start to get in here, and then I'm going to switch my internet. There, okay. Got two more people coming in. Let me see here. I got Judith and Jasmine. Okay. Got Judith and Jasmine. Okay. That's nasty. Okay, I got to get into that other room. Okay, I'm gonna go get the keys so I can actually move into another room, okay? So if anybody comes on, just tell them, hold on.
Yeah.
No one else has come in. Oh, wait, Liz, oops, sorry. Hold on. Admit. Oh, Liz and Natalie, okay. Okay, bear with me. I'm gonna, Max. I'm gonna switch over to the other site, okay? So hang on, bear with me.
It sounds better now, so I don't know.
No, it's it's like echoing in my area.
Okay.
Let me get in here. Let's see. This might work better. You guys love this part. Now where's my plug? Okay. So Venetia, can you remember Raylinda, Jocelyn, and Nadia?
Nadia, no.
I'm gonna let them in, but I need to take roll with them. Get a table. Oh. Okay. All right, Samantha, let's see. Hold on. Letting you guys in. Okay. Everybody get in? I'll be right back. I'm trying to get a location to go to. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. I'm gonna have to go in here. I got it, Venetia. Thank you. I just want to make sure that I got everyone. Okay. That's Sam. Max. Natalie. Okay. Amanda and Isabel.
Natural.
Does that sound better? You guys, does that sound better?
Yeah, sounds better.
Yes.
It was really bad before. It was so bad. It was echoing here. And I was like, oh my God, I can't handle this.
It's better now.
Okay, good. All right, I'm gonna make sure that I got everyone here. So I'm gonna call out your name. If I call out your name at the end, then you're gonna have to let me know, okay? So I have Venetia, Judith,
I'm here.
okay, Jasmine, okay, Liz,
Here.
okay,
Here.
I see you, Jasmine. Okay,
Oh wait, did you get me? Sorry.
Natalie,
it's on.
that's okay. I got Judith, Jasmine, Liz, Natalie, right? Okay,
Yes.
Max. Your voice changed, Max. No. All right, Sam. Samantha.
Here.
Lauren.
Here.
Hold on one second. Okay, Lauren. Jocelyn.
Here.
Natalie again, I guess. I got you twice. Here, never mind. Amanda.
Here.
Isabella? Okay, there you are. All right, Amaya?
Here.
Athena?
I'm here.
And Raylina?
Here.
Okay. All right, so who haven't I called? Wait, wait 1 second, and I'll let you guys, okay. I got Sarah. Okay, now go ahead. All right, who did not get called?
Did you call Eva?
Nope, I didn't, thank you. Okay, anybody else?
I'm here, Karina.
Okay, hold on. Got you, Karina. All right. And then I get
Saida?
Shay. I'm sorry. Who else?
Saida.
Say it. I got you.
Did you get Nadia?
Okay. Nope, but I will now. Okay. All right, anybody else? Okay. I caught everyone else, right?
Shay.
That is your what? Shay, I got you, honey. Who's trying it out? Anybody who's trying it out? I need to know who that is.
It's me, Sulema.
Hi, Salim. I got you. Is that yours? It says trying it out.
Which one?
No,
Oh,
that's not
no.
yours. That's not yours.
I thought it was.
Whoever that is, I can't hear you. Who is trying it out? Who are you?
Oh, can you hear me?
Who? Yeah, I can hear you. Who are you?
I haven't changed my name. I'm Erica Hernandez.
Okay, well, it says trying it out. Doesn't say anything else. That's why I asked who that was.
Oh yeah, that was last time. Oh.
That was last time?
Yeah, I haven't changed my name. I'll figure it out later.
Who are you talking to? Trying it out. Yeah, huh? That's your special name? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are on chapter 13 today. We are starting on hair color, right? And it's on page 347 in your study guide or your handout, and it's 472 in your textbook. Okay. Make sure everybody's got it. I'm going to share the screen with you just a second here. Let me get going. Just a second. All right. Okay, let me know
What was
when you
the
guys
page
can
again?
see the color. It's 347. 347 in your study guide. 472 in your textbook. If you're pivot point. If you're ROP, I don't know what page it's on in there, I'm sorry. But it should be the beginning of chapter 13, which is your hair coloring. And they would have given you a handout if you were an ROP. So can everyone see my screen yet?
Yes.
Okay. So basically they're asking you the same thing. Color theory, what is color? And the law of color. That's what we're going to discuss today. Okay, so can any of you think of something that, well, I mean, how can I put this? Think of something that's kind of fascinating about color that you know of, that maybe nobody else knows about. Can you think of anything? All right, let me go first, and then let's see if you guys can come up. Okay, did you notice? Okay, did you notice? All right, did you notice that all fast food restaurants have the colors of red, yellow, and blue, red, yellow, and orange? All restaurants are usually probably about greens, browns, relaxing kind of things.
You keep breaking out. I can't hear you.
No, I'm sorry. All right. What I was trying to get at is this, okay? When you go to a fast food restaurant, the colors in the fast food restaurant are usually orange, red, and yellow. The reason for that is because we don't stay there very long. It irritates us. Those colors irritate people. So, but if you're going to a restaurant and they want you to spend some money, they're going to have greens and browns and blues in there because now you're going to sit in the plate and have. Do you see what I'm talking about as far as color, how it actually affects us and we don't even realize it? Do any of you have a story that you could tell? I get it. This internet's horrible. Sorry. No one? Okay, here's another one. Hospitals. You know those little lines that they have on the floor? They'll always say, oh, follow the green line or follow the yellow line. Okay, lines make people move faster for some reason. So if you go down to, like, I guess your utility building, and when you go up to pay your bill, you have to go up a flight of stairs. And the stairs kind of go up a certain amount, and then there's a landing, and then you're going to turn, and then you're going to go up some more steps. Okay, what ends up happening is those lines actually make us walk faster or move faster, so they can get people in and out of there quickly. But we don't realize how much color and visual things that we see all the time, what they do to us subconsciously. So it's kind of strange, isn't it? They learned that if they put it in a prisoner in a pink or red room, they're going to be more agitated. But if they put them in a blue or a green room, they actually calm down. So colors really affect us, not more than we think they do.
I have a
So,
question.
Uh-huh.
For like, you know how when you're going and there's like the stop signs and all those signs, are they colors because it like attracts our eye or something?
On the stop sign, in the yellow and the green and the red.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is basically to catch our eyes, correct?
Oh.
There used to be something with the lightings, and I don't know if that's true anymore, but it used to be if you were going through, like, you know, certain times you can hit every green light and then certain times you hit every red light.
Mm.
Okay, if it's going through a system or it's all green and it starts to turn red on you, the police officers flash their lights, their bright lights on, and as they're coming to that signal, it'll keep the light green a little bit longer.
Oh.
So it's kind of weird, but they used to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm going to try that just to make sure that the light stays a little bit longer because it actually gives them a little bit more time. But if you notice, it's almost sensory when you pull up to a light, especially if it's a left-hand turn signal that hardly ever changes. Okay, if you're sitting there, it notices that there's pressure or something on the street, so it actually turns the left-hand turn light on. But sometimes it won't even turn it on if no one's sitting in that parking spot. You see what I'm saying? Like up at Floyd and McKinley, when you're making that left, there's usually always people there, but a lot of times it won't actually make a left-hand turn there unless there's a car that's present there. It's weird. Everything's like motion sensitive now. All right, so color theory, we're going to go through defining the lines and shapes of hair design. It's going to soften the facial features, and it's going to accentuate the lifestyle that you choose. So you all noticed that I changed my hair color. I wanted to go a little bit crazy red, okay, because that's what red is. Which is wild. All right, these are reasons for getting hair color. It's to create a fashion statement, to enhance the existing or natural hair color. It's to cover up or blend your gray hair, or mimic or correct the sun's lightning effects. So which one do you think I did? Why did I change my hair color?
Cover or blend.
Out of those four, I would say the fashion statement.
Oh,
Okay, thank you guys. Cover the gray. Actually, that's the hardest part on this type of hair color because the gray shows too easily. I just wanted to pop a color there. But you know what? If you don't change your hairstyles, how can you expect your clients to do it? So think about that before you decide, I don't want to do color. I don't worry about that. If you're not going to do that, your clients aren't going to ask you for it. So if you get a little crazy with your hair, they're going to go, wow, maybe I can do that. So they get an idea that way. All right, what is color? It's a phenomenon of light. Each color is a group of electronic or electromagnetic waves, also called wavelengths. These wavelengths cannot be seen unless they are reflected off of an object, like a prism. You get to see the rainbow, right? So in your textbook or your handout, or not your textbook, your study guide, it says what is color, okay? Okay, and you're going to write in there, it's the visual perception, okay, the visual perception of the reflection of light. So the visual perception of the reflection of light, because without light, we have no color. Okay. Did everybody get that? To put in the workbook? Okay, it was the visual perception of the reflection of light, because without light, there is no color. Okay. All right, you're going to go down right below that where it says wavelengths that can be seen, create color, and are known as visible light. Okay, that goes in your workbook in the fill in the blank, visible light, because we can see it. Okay, the law of color states this way. Only yellow, red, and blue are primary colors or pure colors, which mean they cannot be mixed or made. I can't mix two of those together to make that color. We have to start out with yellow, red, and blue. Okay, so where it says in your workbook, the law of color, it says only three colors, yellow, red, and blue. Okay, are pure colors. Okay, when they're mixed together, they can make up other colors, right? Okay, so we have to start out with this. How many, I don't know, there's a lot of ROPs in here, but have you ever gone to a restaurant and they hand either your brother or your son or daughter, whatever, okay, a couple of crayons, and they always give you like 3 crayons. And I used to think, God, this place is a cheap place. They can't even give the kids some coloring crayons. But in actuality, if we had those 3 colors in a crayon, we can make any other color. And it dawned on me later, I thought, my son's going, Mom, look, I made purple, or I made orange. Okay, so without those 3 colors, we can't make up any of the other colors. So do you have their fill in the blank for your yellow, red, and blue? Okay.
Miss Jenny,
Uh-huh.
there is one blank that we need to fill up. Each color is a group of electromagnetic waves, also called
Wavelengths?
wavelength. Okay.
Wavelength. I'm so sorry. Yes, it's wavelengths.
Thank you.
So I got all those fill-ins, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go into the next part of this. We're going to talk about the 3 colors, which are the primary colors. When you mix 2 of the primary colors in various proportions, you're going to produce the secondary colors, which are known as orange, green, and violet. So in your first column where it says your primary colors, I want you to put in there your yellow, red, and blue in the primary. Okay. You got all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we put?
We're going to put yellow, red, and blue in the primary. Okay. Okay, so basically what they're trying to show you is if I mix yellow and red together, I'm going to get orange. Okay. If I mix yellow and blue together, I'm going to get green. If I mix red and blue, I'm going to get violet. You see that in the illustration?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so on your secondary colors, you're going to write in there where it says 2 of the 3 primary mixed in various proportions, you're going to put orange, green, and violet. Okay. And then we're going to talk about tertiary colors. So you mix a primary color with its neighboring secondary color in various proportions, it's going to create tertiary colors. So let's kind of go back to your primary, you have 3, right? When you go to your secondary, you have 3. When you get to tertiary, you have 6, okay? And so it's basically telling you when you mix yellow and orange together, you get yellow-orange, okay? When I mix red and orange together, I get red-orange. Yellow and green make yellow-green. Blue and green make blue-green. Red and violet make red-violet. And blue-violet, blue plus violet is blue-violet. So you're going to put all of those colors in your tertiary one. So you start off with yellow-orange, yellow-green, blue-green, and blue-violet, and red-violet, and red-orange. Okay, out of those 12, those 6 right here, you can always refer back to its primary color, okay? So it's going to be important to know what you're trying to do when you're trying to find a base of a color or its tone, right? You've all heard that we have levels of hair color that go from 1 to 10, 10 being the lightest and 1 being the darkest, okay? In between there. But then there's also the tone of it. So they can have brown hair, but it has a red tone to it. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want you to understand that when you start to see the bases are going to be your primary colors that are in those. I'll explain that a little bit more as we go through this. Go to that color wheel, okay? And this is a 12 hue color circle that's created from 3 primary colors. There are 12 colors, 3 primary, 3 secondary, and 6 tertiaries. They're positioned in a circle and allow any mixed color to be described in relation to its primary. So when we were talking about yellow-orange and yellow-green, the primary was yellow, okay? Blue-green and blue-violet, the primary was blue. Red-violet and red-orange would have been red for the primary. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. Your fill-in at the bottom, it should say a 12 hue wheel that can be used as a tool in which 3 primaries, that goes in the fill-in, 3 primaries, 3 secondary, and 6 tertiary colors. They're positioned in a circle. Okay, that's basically what your color wheel is. Any mixed color can be described in relation to the primary colors. So that's this second part of your fill-in. Okay, then it goes down to tone and hue. The name of the color, also referred to as tone or hue, is identified by its position on the color wheel. So that one should have been tone and hue, or hue, and position. There's a screen like backing up. Okay. So tone or hue basically is the color that we perceive, all right? So they're talking about being identified by the position on its color wheel, where it sits. Is it going to be sitting in the warm colors, or is it going to be sitting in the cool colors? Or is it going to be in the neutral? Okay. Remember when I was talking about the tone, when you went outside and someone had brown hair, had red tones? That's what they're talking about, that highlighted part that you see. That's kind of like on top of their color. Does everybody understand what that means? Thumbs up if you understand what I mean. All right, then more questions if you don't. All right, so here are your warm color tones and cool color tones. Colors that fall in the half into the yellow, orange, and red half of the color wheel are going to be your warm tones. Colors that fall into the blue, green, and violet half of the color wheel are going to be your cooler colors. Okay, so you know, people always say, I want that type of blonde. Okay, and then you're looking at it and it's either going to be a cool platinum blonde or it's going to be a warm blonde, summer blonde, where it's a lot warmer. So some people can't just wear one tone, some wear 2, but most people can only wear one of them. So if depending on their skin tone, that's how you're going to decide what color they're going to go into. So if someone comes in and says, I want that blonde, and she's pointing to somebody in my salon, let's say, okay, and I look at it and I realize, you know, she really can't wear that platinum, but she could wear the other blonde. what I would do is take the color swatches from the color book and lay them across her bangs, spread the color out, the little swatch across it, so that she can see that that color will either work well with her skin tone or it will not work well with her skin tone. But we're not really telling somebody they can't have that blonde, they just need to choose a different tone. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so the tone of the hair color can be described as warm, cool, or neutral in your workbook. Okay, you're going to fill in that neutral. So here's our little learning exercise. Can you see the warm tones on one side and the cool tones on the other? Yes. Believe it or not,
Yes.
every color has a warm and a cool. Okay, it literally does. A lot of times we don't think about that, but when you have to think of the 64 different colors, they are the same color, but it's either cool or warm. So this is a little exercise you probably will be doing if you're just brand new into theory for hair coloring with Miss Michelle. She'll probably go through this the same way with these swatches so that you can see what's going on. Can you see the warm tone on the right side, the cool tone on the left side?
Yeah.
All right, so turn the page in your workbook to 348. Okay, and it says warm and cools, also known as warm and cool tones. Okay, that's a tone that you fill in the blank. Warm tones, okay, generally are yellow, orange, and red, half of the color wheel. And your cool tones are going to be green, blue, and violet, so that you should be filling that in. Okay, there's a hint at the bottom of that. It says, in addition to knowing a client's hair type, it's important to know whether a client's skin tones are warm or cool when you design a hair color to complement his or her natural coloring. Because if someone has cool colorings, I'm not going to put a warm tone on them because it's not going to look right on her. Okay, so I have to find something that's in a cooler tone.
By cool colorings, what do you mean?
Okay, all right, if we're going to use a blonde, okay, your golden blondes would be your warm blondes, okay? Platinum would be your cool blondes.
Okay.
That really white kind of silverish kind of color. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And in your browns, you can go like a red brown could be a red brown that's an orange base to it, or it could be a red brown with a blue base with it. So it's more of a violet.
Okay.
That's the cool side. Okay. Does that make it a little easier to understand?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
that orange that we have, and then we have that red violet. Okay. So it just depends. You have to look at their skin tone. And the best way to do that, believe it or not, I know it sounds really crazy, but it's true. You can do this with their makeup off. It's perfect. Pull their hair back, okay? And I used to have a scarf that was gold, like gold lame. It was like kind of sparkly. And then I had a silver one. And I would drape that scarf around someone's neck to check their skin tone. So if I put on that platinum one, okay, the silver scarf, what I'm looking at is, does she have pink cheeks? Does she look washed out, or does she look like she's happy? Looks good with that color. Then I automatically know that that's a cool person, okay? If I put on the gold scarf, okay, this person will automatically turn kind of bright with the golden colors, all right, or the warmer tones. When you put the platinum on that person, they look washed out, okay? So you'll be able to tell. Some of us, very few of us, but some of us can wear both colors. So in order for the hair color and the makeup and your clothing to all work to their best advantage, you want them all in the same tone, okay? The worst thing you can do when you're putting on makeup is put on like your orange tan kind of colors onto your face and then put pink lipstick on, because those two are two completely different tones. You see what I'm saying? So most people pick the wrong tones when they're picking out their makeup. So if you're a warm tone person, you need to be picking colors that are warm for your makeup. Vice versa. Another point you can check is on your wrist. Okay, on your wrist, you should be able to see green or blue veins. Okay, your green is basically going to be your warm tones, and your blue base are going to be your cool tones. It's kind of funny how it works. Huh?
So that's good to know.
Okay. And then some of us, like I said, are neutral. They look good for both of them. But another way to check is just jewelry, silver and gold, right? So if you keep it all in the same tone, like your whole outfit, makeup, hair, clothing, you're going to look your best, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's go down to complementary colors, okay? And these are colors that are found opposite each other. Opposite from one another on the color wheel. Two complementary colors combined equal all three primary colors. All right, so I'm looking at this.
What did you say?
I said two complementary colors combined equals all three primary colors. That's your fill-in.
Okay, I got it.
So I'm going to find you another color wheel. Let's see. It's a little bit easier to read. Let me see if this one will show up. Okay. Basically, what they're talking about is this. When we're looking at a color wheel where the orange is, okay, the opposite of that's going to be the purple. Is it the purple? Yeah. No, the yellow is purple across from each other, okay? So in order to cancel out some unwanted tone that you're grabbing, you're going to have to put that color tone onto your color. And I know that sounds really crazy right now, but let me read this part for you. The colors that are found opposite on the one another on the color wheel cancel one another out, producing a neutral color. They're used to correct or neutralize unwanted tones, resulting in a range of browns or neutral colors. Now, these neutral tones are colors that do not exhibit warm or cool tones. So let's get back to where it says it's used to neutralize an unwanted tone. What's an unwanted tone? Let's say we lighten somebody's hair, okay? And automatically dark hair, once you start to lift the colors out of it, you're going to start losing the red. You're going to start losing red orange, then it's going to be orange, then it's going to be yellow orange, and then it's going to be yellow. It's just going up the stages, right? So if I lighten somebody like 4 levels, okay, depending on how dark they are, it's either going to have an unwanted tone that I don't want. Okay, so let's say I'm going from a level 4, which is pretty dark because 1's a dark, okay? Level 4, and I want to bring it up to a 7. Automatically, she's going to pull those red colors, right? And I don't want her to be red. I want her to be like an ash blonde. So I would have to use what's opposite the red because that's what it's pulling up. I'm going to have to use something that has a green base to it so that I can cancel out that color and still get her that nice, pretty ash blonde. Does that make sense? No? Yes?
Yeah, that's something new. I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's a lot of times that you'll get those colors that come up, they're just unwanted. Whether you're doing it a blonde or just going a couple levels. When you go a little bit lighter, you pull the reds. Okay, and you keep going lighter, the lighter you go, the more red, orange, and yellow that comes out of the hair. So it says every color, this is the level of hair color, every color has a degree of lightness or darkness, which is often described as a level. Okay. Intensity will refer to the brightness or the vividness of the color or strength of the tone. I know you didn't hear that, huh? Intensity refers to the brightness or vividness of a color or strength of the tone. So let's just say I wanted to be a 4 red. So it's going to be like a brown red, 4R. But if I really wanted it to be bright red, I could put red 4RR. I know you guys can't even hear that, huh? I'm sorry. Did anyone hear what I just said?
Nope.
Sorry.
It's like echoing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's echoing.
Horrible. And I'm right next to the stupid thing. Okay. Intensity is going to talk about the brightness or vividness.
Yeah, it's just echoing back and forth now.
I'm going to go out of the class and come back in, you guys. Okay? So I might have to let everybody back in the class. All right? So
I
let me.
think it's like somebody else isn't muted.
Yeah.
You think
Somebody's
it's
mic is on.
whose mic is on? Oh, look at that. They all went. Quiet. I feel like the parents. I can see who's still on there. No. All right, let me go back to that screen again. Okay. All right. Can you guys see the level of hair color again? Somebody's mic's on. Okay.
Now it's up.
All right. So the level of hair color, every color has a degree of lightness or darkness, which is often described as a level of color. Okay. So I can go from a very dark, almost black, which would be a 1. Let me look at this, pull this up a little bit so you can see it. Okay. See the shading in the gray? Okay. As I go up 1 level, it gets a little bit lighter, lighter, lighter as it comes up where the numbers are, that actual one. Okay. Intensity now is going to refer to the brightness or vividness of the color strength or its tone. So if I wanted to add an extra red to it, I can put a 5R. R. See where the 5 goes? And there's an R right there. Or not a red, but the red box. Excuse me, I got to answer this really quick. Like, what's Miss Sue want? Okay, so Coco can't get in. I'm like, she hasn't tried to get in. Okay, or Cece. Okay, so do you understand what they mean by that intenseness? Think of like a highlighter, how it gets really bright, right? Best way to describe that part. All right, let's just do a self-check on what we've covered so far. Okay. So 1, the 3 colors considered primary colors are known as, and you guys should give me these answers.
Yellow, blue, and red, right?
Yes. Good, good. All right, number 2, when 2 of the primary colors are mixed in various proportions, they produce the 3 secondary colors, which are known as?
Orange, green, and violet.
Good. All right, 3, and it says rewrite to make this statement true. Tone can be expressed by bright and dull colors. Okay, I'm gonna go back right up here. Anybody answer that before I even get to that part?
Warm and cool colors.
You. I was going to go back there just to make sure you guys understood it. Thank you. All right. Number 4. I know there's another one here. Okay. If a client's skin tone falls into the yellow, red, and orange category, it's got the answers. That's not fair. The number of the lightest hair color is 10. And then the vividness or brightness of the color is referred to its intensity or how vivid that color is. I think that was it for these. How about that? Okay, let's go over to the end of your book right here, where it says you have filled in the neutral one, right? Colors that do not exhibit warm or cool tones are certain shades of gray,
No.
black. Okay, so go to neutral colors in your workbook. And it says colors that do not exhibit warm or cool tones. These are certain shades of gray, black, and brown. When we mix a couple colors together, or all of those colors together, we're going to get that green, or excuse me, that gray, black, or brown. There's a helpful hint at the bottom. It says in hair coloring, complementary colors are often used to neutralize unwanted tones. Okay. And it says an example, the client's hair is lightened to a brassy orange tone. So check the color wheel. The complementary color to orange is what?
Blue.
Blue, correct. So the correction on that is apply a blue-based color. So I can find a blonde, but I'm going to make sure that that base has a blue base to it. Okay, the result, its brassy tone is neutralized. So I know a lot of you that you just first started doing hair color. Okay, you think that you see a color on a box and you're going to get that color on the box because your hair looks like the side box. You know, where it says if your hair color is this level, it's going to look like this and it's going to look like that, or like, you know, it says it on the side of those boxes, right? But the thing of it is we don't take into consideration that the tone or what's going to be pulled as an unwanted tone when we start to color our hair, whether it's lighter or darker. Darker, not so much, but lighter, even a shade lighter is going to leave a little unwanted tone sometimes. So if your hair is more on the darker side and you want to go a little lighter, you're going to have to pick an ash base color. Okay, does that make sense? Right? If it's pulling too much yellow, what color am I going to use to cancel it out?
Violet.
Violet. Okay, so that means that the base. Now, when you look at a bottle of hair color, it will have a number either from 1 to 10, or it might go 101, 102, something like that. But 1 being your darkest, right, and 10 being your lightest. It also is going to have a base color on there, and that base is going to be the tone that it's going to be. Okay, so I might have a level 10, okay, which is a blonde, but depending on its tone, if it's an ash tone or cool tone, it's going to be more on a platinum. But if it's a warm tone, it's going to be like a peachy summer blonde kind of color. Does it make the difference to show you what they're talking about as far as cools and warms? And what you'll find is this: the numbers, okay, are going to give you the level, but the tone is going to be that warm and cool, right? So if you choose on the cool side, your colors are going to be darker than the actual color. If you choose the warm side, they're going to be lighter. So I could have, let's say, a 7, which is a medium, like a medium blonde, okay, or a darker blonde. But if I chose it in the darker, the cool colors, it's going to be a darker ash blonde. If I choose it on the warm side, she's going to be brighter. Do you see where I'm going with that? So it just depends. A lot of us, we don't realize the tones are actually giving us the color that we have in our hair. So on a bottle of color, it will have its number. So it might say 7R, 7 red. Okay, it might be 7 gold. Okay, so you have to look at the number and the letter next to it. So the way to do it sometimes is the numbers will give you the level of color, but the alphabet letters will actually give you the tone of the color. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, because now you have to take into consideration that tone, because if you don't, you're going to be in trouble. You're not going to get the color that you want. Let's put it that way. So turn to page 349. Okay, and it has color has 3 main characteristics. Okay, they are hue, value, and intensity. Okay, hue is basically the color that we're seeing. Okay, the value is basically the level, because value is another name for level of color. All right, and then your intensity. Okay, same thing is like looking at the level, the tone, and the intensity. So hue, it says, are named and abbreviated based on the color wheel's position. All right, somebody's, okay. Yes, Zulima, what's up?
On my book, the page 349 is about finger waves.
No, that's your study guide, honey.
Oh, okay.
Textbook, in your textbook, it's like 478 to 481.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That's okay.
study guide. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. So I'm going to stop this screen right here because I'm not going to pull up any more information until tomorrow. But how many of you have practiced or at least pretended to put color on a friend or yourself and it not come up the same color or the color that you wanted?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've done hair, but it came out the
Me.
color it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let me tell you what happened on some of these. Let me hear. If it didn't come up right, let me hear your story. Liz?
Over quarantine, I bleached my whole head and I had some spots that were more yellow orange than more blonde.
So what, did you put a toner on top of it?
Yeah,
And so what did the toner do to the light and the dark?
it made my light more light, so it gave it like the silvery tint to it, and then my yellow orange, it made it like a darker, weird color.
So you understand how important it is to get the hair evenly lightened before you put that toner on. If that means going
Yes.
back and lifting those spots that didn't come up. Yeah, because when you're lightening or bleaching something, that you've got to go very small with your subsections, because there's always that possibility that could happen, just what you're doing. And all you have to do is go back and lighten that first before you put your toner on. You want to make sure you're even as far as lifting. But good. Who else did something that wasn't, it didn't come out the way you wanted it to?
Basically what she just said. Yeah. Same
Yeah?
for
What did you do?
exactly what she did, where it was the lightener was not even and it just darkened spots and lightened others, or made other spots like look the way I wanted it to. And then the other spots were like, no, that's not what I want.
Well, at least no one in here did something to the point where their hair was not in any condition to tone, because there are going to be times when you over bleach it, or they've over bleached their hair, and then they're wanting you to put a color on it, and you can't put a color because the color won't adhere to the hair, because they basically, the integrity's been just stripped from the hair.
I've had that happen.
Me too. And what happens when you put the color on? It just goes on and it rinses right out. It's like there's
Yeah, it
nothing
almost
to
came
grab
out
onto.
just like it almost looked like it had just like barely stained it. Like it was really bad.
It's pretty bad. That basically telling you that the hair strand itself had a bunch of holes in it when it was broken down, you know, to pre-soften and remove those colors, the browns and so forth, that it now had nothing to grab onto. And there's an illustration, I think, in your textbook, but I'm not sure what page it was on, but it shows a strand of hair, and then it shows you where like temporary colors go, and where semi-permanent go, and where demi-permanent and unpermanent hair color. So if you get to that page, you'll notice it looks like a little Christmas tree, okay? And it basically tells you where those colors actually fall in there. If there's no integrity in the hair, no matter what color, even if permanent, it won't stay in there. So you want to make sure that you restructure that hair up. That's why they put that Olaplex out there, because most of us are doing stuff at home that we shouldn't be, or haven't been trained yet, and we just wanted to practice. It can't be that hard, right? That's what I said on my first time. I actually did my own hair. I had lightened it and wore it light for many years, okay, and decided at one point, since I took a color class at school, that I'm just going to put on this light ash blonde on top of it. Well, my hair went black, and I couldn't figure out what happened. I'm like, what the hell? But it's not supposed to look like this. And I was just stunned, and I didn't even know what to do. I came back to school and I told the teacher, I go, what are we going to do? And they're like, well, you put a darker toner on your hair that you shouldn't have put on. He goes, when you're going back, like a tint back to natural at least, or going darker, you got to go a couple of shades lighter than the color you actually want, because there's no color left in there to grab onto. Okay, when you bleach your hair, you lightened it and pull all those colors out, right? Well, leaving some of those colors in there, you had color to attach to that color. But if you lighten it too light, it doesn't have anything to attach to, so it just kind of fades and it makes it kind of muddy. Okay.
Like if you have dark hair and you're trying to go red or something, you would lighten it so it's orangey, but not
Depending on
blonde, so
the
it
toner,
comes
yeah.
out better.
You can still bring it up to a what they call a pale blonde or pale yellow, which is basically the inside of a banana. That's as light as we're supposed to take it, not take it to white. Okay, because you won't leave anything there for the hair to attach to, or the color to attach to afterwards. Does that make sense? You kind of put little cheesy holes in it if you think about the hair like that when you start to bleach it. And if you've noticed, any of you that did lighten their hair, your hair's still thinner now, doesn't it? It's not as thick as it used to be. Did you notice that? It's finer, huh?
No, my hair is still pretty thick and it's really coarse. So either way, I'm surprised I'm not bald, because I did it in high school and I thought I was gonna lose all my hair, but I just cut it really short and it was fine.
Had that happen too. Seriously. My other thing that I did, oh God, I couldn't believe this. I decided to decolorize my hair. That's what it said. It was going to take out, I was already blonde, which I was already there. But I had some inclination that if I put this decolorizer on, that I would have my brown hair back. Okay, this is how foolish I was thinking at the time. So I'm at work and I told my boss, oh, I just need 10 minutes. I'm going to rinse this stuff out. I'm going to have my own hair back. When I took it off, I looked like a light bulb. He goes, what happened to your hair? And I go, what, is it not brown? He goes, no, it's not brown. He goes, no, it's yellow. And I'm like, what the heck? So I literally had to call the school and say, what did happen to my hair? And they're like, well, you didn't need to decolorize it because you had no color in there to begin with. Okay, because all you did was lift it. Like, yeah, but it said it would decolorize it, because, well, it's not going to decolorize something that isn't there. If you had had a dark color on your hair and you tried to lift that color off of your hair, that's what that would be used for, but not the way you were trying to use it. Like, oh my God, I was a horrible student. I literally had everything go wrong when I was in school. My first client that I did a frosting on, my teacher kept coming over to me and asking me, what does she have on her hair? And I kept asking her, and she said nothing. She was a natural blonde. She was really getting irritated because I kept asking her over and over. So then when I pulled the cap off after the bleaching had processed, everything that I pulled through the cap went down the drain. I was like, what happened? Yeah, that's what my eyes did. Just the same thing. Is like, what happened? And he's like, I told you she wasn't a natural blonde. And I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? And he's like, she grabbed a towel, wrapped it around her head, and walked out of the salon. And I was like, but what happened? And he said, well, listen, he goes, she should have told you what was on her hair, and you should have been able to know that there was something on her hair. And I go, what are you talking about? I'm a new student. I don't know anything. And he said, you can feel the texture of somebody that has virgin hair that has done nothing to their hair. And then you can feel the texture of somebody that's done something, whether it's color, perm, relaxer, it doesn't feel the same. Okay. And when you know that feeling that's a little bit different, then you can decide that there is something on there. It's not just virgin hair anymore. So there has to be something on there, whether they want to admit it or not, there's something on there. And because she didn't tell me what was on there, she had a metallic underneath there. When I put the bleach on, it just melted the hair. Okay. So she didn't want to tell me, but that's what ended up happening. And he was right. He goes, I told you she wasn't a natural blonde. And it's like, oh my God. But to have all these things happen to me in school, I learned very quickly what you can and cannot do to hair. All right. Are there any questions for today? Anyone? No? Okay. I will see you tomorrow then. I'm going to let you out. All right, guys?
Goodbye. Have a good
Okay,
day.
bye. Bye. See you later. Okay.
Miss Janie,
Yes, hon.
I didn't get the characteristics of the color.
Okay. On what page that one? Okay.
478, 481, I think.
478.
Well, 349.
Okay, 349. Okay. The characteristics are hue, HU, value, and intensity.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Can we
Okay,
start
thank
the
you.
same time tomorrow?
Yes, it'll be 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Alrighty. Bye, you guys.
Bye, Miss Janie.
Bye, Jay.